92 Rock, your old pal Mason here, chatting with Otis Julius, who's going to be at Fort Frenzy this Sunday. How you doing, man?
Doing good, Mason. How are you, brother?
I'm awesome, dude. I was just checking out some of your music, and I was thoroughly entertained.
Thank you. Thank you. That's the idea. I appreciate it, man.
Got it. So you're originally from Idaho, huh?
Yeah, I'm from Idaho and I live in Los Angeles now, but definitely an Idaho boy.
Yeah. So I mean, you've toured quite a few places. You're on a big '90s party tour right now. How's that going for you?
It's been great so far. It's been a blast. Shows have been good. This was kind of a follow-up tour from a bigger tour I just got off of back in August. I was very curious to see how my retention was going to be as a growing artist, and I've been very pleased with our turnouts and numbers and statistics.
Dude, yeah. And I can't get over the mullet, dude. How
Thanks,
long you
man.
been
This is like, yeah, this is probably 5 years of hard work now. But yeah.
amazing. So, what about the '90s made you want to throw this party tour?
The marketing and branding was gonna be super fun. Um, Whenever I'm not on tour, I work on the film industry in LA and I work on a lot of 90s shows, so it kind of just popped into my head that way. And one of my big things is making sure that I honor people's entertainment dollar. And so like you could throw a concert anywhere, but to have an event, a party, something to get people excited, like that's really what people are valuing right now. So I wanted to bring value to each city, and the 90s party tour seemed the way to go.
I think it's going to be a blast. I mean, there's a couple other rap artists on here, and then we're mixing it up a bit. We've got like even some folk and rock that are going to be here with this
Cool.
'90s thing. So
Yeah, I'm super excited for it, man. I grew up playing in punk bands, and so I've played a lot of like mixed genre shows or whatever, and it just always brings me back to my roots and gets me excited to play with some rock bands or whatever. So I'm excited for shows like this for sure.
and you have played quite a few shows. You've toured the US, up into Canada.
Hmm.
And what really got me is you've actually played in Indonesia and Singapore.
Yeah. I went out and played this huge music fest in Indonesia, and I found a connecting flight through Singapore for like an extra I think it was like an extra $30. I was just like, oh, I should play a show in Singapore. And so I played a DIY show in Singapore. So that was super cool. But the festival in Indonesia was wild. Like it's not very often somebody like me can play Indonesia for 550, 600 people. Like it was pretty rad.
Yeah, what other kind of acts were on that show? Was it like a hip hop show or was it like another eclectic type thing?
No, yeah, it was mostly all local Indonesian rock bands. And I just had like a little bit of a fan base in Indonesia, and they kind of got me connected to the right people. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. This will be sick. So it definitely was not like a huge moneymaker at all. It was definitely like a break even situation, but like the experience alone was amazing.
I'd say they don't speak English in Indonesia, do they?
Not much at all, no. So people were very excited to come and try out their English with me. It was a lot of fun.
So are we going to hear My Name is Kevin when we see you play? That one really got me too.
Oh man, I typically save that one for Christmas time. I haven't really announced this yet, but coming this Christmas, I'm going to be releasing part two. It'll be based on Home Alone part two. Um, I could probably throw "Hi, my name is Kevin" into the set for you, but it's definitely not like on the working tour set list.
That one just, I mean, it threw me through a loop, dude. Like I thought it was so awesome because such an iconic movie, you
Oh
know.
yeah, it's great. Uh huh.
So I take it you're a pretty big fan of movies then if you work in the industry out there, huh?
You know, oddly enough, I don't watch much film strictly because I don't have a lot of time, but I used to be super into movies, and a lot of my favorite movies actually like conveniently come from the late 90s. So yeah.
All right. And I'm seeing like you're going like the windbreaker type 90s stuff. Did you ever get into like grunge or any of the other 90s styles?
Yeah, I definitely did. Um, I think for me, what I really enjoy is like the color and the poppiness, you know. Um, Growing up playing in punk bands, like at that point, I was definitely like way more. I guess grungy is the right word, but you know, had not fitted jeans that had holes in them, and I was a big fan of wearing flannels. And I looked like I could have been a rip off Nirvana cover poster, you know, at one point. I had long hair all the way around, but you know, the color and the poppiness is just what really reaches out to me.
Yeah, I can see that. And your music, the music that you have behind it hits pretty good too. What can you tell us about DJ Strawstone?
Yeah, DJ Strawstone is a good friend of mine. He owns a promotion company in Omaha, Nebraska. He owns Nice Enough Entertainment, and he books a lot of great shows all throughout the Midwest. And I was on tour back in 2019, and he booked me on a Des Moines and Omaha show opening for Mac Lethal. And that's kind of how our relationship started. And then he actually ran the first official tour back from COVID. He was a tour manager on that. And I hit him up and I was just like, dude, I know you're going to need a driver on this tour. Like, let me come drive for you. So I ended up being the tour driver for this big King ISO tour, which was the first like official artist out on the road since COVID. And we just kind of linked up and became super good friends. So DJ Strawstone is like what he's going by on this tour, but he's like the owner and operator of Nice Enough Entertainment. He books shows all over. He's also playing like probably 90% of the booking agent on this tour that we're on right now. And he's also playing tour manager. And so he's a really clutch, important part of what I have going on. And just for branding and I guess fun reasons, we have him set up on the marquee as like DJ Strawstone, but he's so much more than a DJ. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. So who does the like if he's just out on tour with you, who does like the beats for you? Do you produce your own or
You know, my last EP, I worked strictly with Lit Kid Beats out of Germany. I've never worked specifically with one producer before, but I found him over COVID, and his music just really spoke to me. And I was just like, we should definitely like just do a project together and see how it does. And that's the project that I released back in, I think it was May of last year, and that ended up hitting number 8 on the iTunes hip hop charts, and it was just like super exciting for me, and the biggest thing that I'd done in my career to date, and like just to have that experience was really rad to me. And to kind of full circle back to your question, I work with a lot of people in production. This was the first time that I had minimal say in production. Typically co-produce everything that I work on. I'm kind of a purist when it comes to my art, and I want to be involved in everything. And so that's been one thing that I've been really having to focus on and learn this past year, is being able to let go of certain areas and letting other people work with me, for me, however you want to look at it.
so it seems like you actually kind of were able to spin like with COVID and everything, you were able to spin it into more of a positive thing for your career.
You know, that's a really good question. I haven't been asked that. I definitely lost viewership and engagement, and my first time back on the road since COVID, my numbers were way down, and I was like pretty bummed out. It really felt like I was really having to start from scratch again, and you know, I just worked hard and worked through it. I think on a personal level, I think uh, I was able to spend COVID to work out really well for me. On a business music level, like, it definitely killed me. I feel like I had a lot of momentum going into COVID. I actually had to cancel the last 2 weeks of a full US tour I was on whenever the shutdown happened. And so, like, I kind of went into it with the same mindset of everybody, where everybody was just like, oh, this will be 2 weeks, then we'll be back to normal. 3 weeks, and we'll be back to normal. And so, like, I didn't really gear up to have any sort of mindset of like, 6 months, a year, or whatever. I was just like, yeah, we'll just hop right back into it. And so, like, I was dumb like that. On a personal level, it was, I don't want to say COVID was great because it wasn't great for anybody, but like, COVID was all right for me. I was freshly married. I got married over COVID. So I had, 6 months of pretty much just hanging out with my new wife. So that was cool.
Awesome. Awesome. So, any kids yet or anything?
No, no, sir. I feel like I'm too busy for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hear that. I'm not grown up enough for kids myself, but
I'm with
yeah.
you there too, for sure.
Yeah, married a long time, but kids, no thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with it, man. I'm with it.
Oh yeah. So what's next for you after you get done with this tour? Are you gonna write some more music or plan the next tour? Or what's going on?
Yeah, the next tour is already in the works. I definitely plan on getting home and getting straight to writing and releasing a new EP, which is like really nerve wracking to me, but that's something that I'm gonna force myself to do. So we'll get home, write, release, and record. Uh, and then I have a really big show booked in Sioux Falls, and I want to say it's July, maybe. It's unannounced. I can't talk about it yet, but it's going to be probably 1,500 people. It's going to be a really big show. And so between that and writing, there's two different things that are possibly going to happen. And a friend of mine, a much bigger artist, is getting ready to go out on tour. And so I'm waiting to find out if I'm going to end up driving on his tour. And if that doesn't happen, then I'm just going to focus everything into my next tour, which will probably be late summer, early fall. And that's actually going to be the pizza party tour part two. So yeah, it's going to be. I got some really great concepts for it. I don't want to go too far into it yet, but either way, a full year ahead, releasing new music, being back out on the road, and just doing what I do, I guess.
Hell yeah, man. So do you like arcade games and stuff?
Yeah, I will put my money where my mouth is and say anybody who wants to take me on Mrs. Pac-Man, like, let's go.
Dude, Fort Frenzy has they've got one of those giant 4-man ones,
I love
where
those.
yeah, dude, they got
So
one of
is
those.
is Fort
What's
Frenzy like a got like a back arcade or something like that then?
Yeah, so you're going to be performing in the Cardiff Center, which is just a big event hall, and
Mhm.
then right off of this event hall is a giant arcade.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
I'm rolling up early then. I'll get there way before sound check.
Dude, I'm telling you, this is going to be a fun time, and I think like the party that you're bringing here really fits the venue. So
Awesome. Awesome. I'm excited for it. Don't think that I knew that. Maybe I did, and I don't know. I'm going through a bunch of stuff.
I'd say,
But
yeah, like
yeah.
where are you at on tour right now?
Right now I'm enjoying my day off in Omaha, Nebraska. And tomorrow we pick back up and we're down in St. Joseph, Missouri. So we're gonna head south, turn around, and then head right back up.
Hell yeah,
So
hell yeah. Well,
yeah.
dude, we can't wait to party with you this Sunday, and look forward to kicking your ass in some Pac-Man, dude.
I love it, Mason. You got it. Let's do it.
All right, buddy. Take care. Thanks for the time, man.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon, bro. Take it easy.
Peace.
All right.